What's up, everybody? Today, we're here to expose the eternally constipated Clarence Thomas, who feels like he's above the law. Surprisingly, he sets the tone for the law. Only in America, right? We're talking about him, his wife. We're going there. Like the video's intro, please, because we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. I want to make it make one.
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
I remember when Candy Hair used to look like this. I fly above. I fly above. I fly. No, that want you? No, I fly above.
Okay, guys, let's get right into it. If you're new to the channel, definitely like the video and subscribe. We do deep dives over here. I don't like Clarence Thomas. I just don't. But let's get into his newest accusations. I want to show you guys. It says Clarence Thomas, 38 vacations, the other billionaires who have treated the Supreme Court justice to luxury travel. The fullest accounting yet shows how Thomas has secretly reaped the benefits from a network of wealthy and well-connected patrons that is far more extensive than previously understood. Guys, this is a big deal because even lower level courts, you have to disclose these things. He's not doing it. Are we surprised? I feel like, in my opinion, let me put my allegedly banner up. I believe all the allegations that Anita Hill exposed about Clarence Thomas, and we'll get into that a little bit later. It says, during his 3 decades on the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas has enjoyed steady access to a lifestyle most Americans can only imagine. It says, industry titans and ultra-wealthy executives have treated him to far-flung vacations aboard their yachts, ushered him into the premium suites at the sporting events, and sent their private jets to fetch him, including on more than one occasion an entire 737. It's a stream of luxury that is both more extensive and from a wider circle than has been previously understood. Like clockwork, Thomas's leisure activities have been underwritten by benefactors who share the ideology that drives his jurisprudence. Their gifts include at least 38 destination vacations, including a previously unreported voyage on a yacht around the Bahamas, 26 private jet flights, plus an additional 8 by helicopter. A dozen VIP passes to professional and college sporting events, typically perched in the skybox, 2 stays at luxury resorts in Florida and Jamaica, and 1 standing invitation to an uber-exclusive golf club overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. This accounting of Thomas's travel, revealed for the first time here from any array of previously unavailable information, is the fullest to date of the generosity that has regularly afforded Thomas a lifestyle far beyond what his income could provide, and is almost certainly an undercount, meaning this is just the information that they had. Guys, this is a Supreme Court justice who is not disclosing gifts. You can't send a muffin basket to a judge without the judge disclosing that. How are there no checks and balances for an actual Supreme Court justice? This is absolutely crazy, but I'm not surprised. Definitely not surprised. And in my opinion, there is a 30-year span of time that this man has been a Supreme Court justice. Just imagine him and Jenny, his wife. Now let's get into Jenny, because before we complete Clarence, we got to get into Jenny, because Jenny has been in some and we got to talk about it. Jenny Thomas. I wanted you guys to first understand a little bit of her early life, right? Ginny Thomas. This is coming from her aunt and uncle in an interview. Ginny's uncle said of the couple, "I can guarantee you I was surprised when I found out that she was going with a black man." To which her aunt added, "But he was so nice. We forgot he was black. And he treated her so well, all of his other qualities made up for his being black." This is the family he married into. Now, let's juxtapose that, because the aunt just told him, and we're not even getting into the fact that his qualities made up for his blackness. We're not even going there right now. Let's just get into what they said about how he treated her. So he exalted this former cult member by her own admission. But when it came to Miss Anita Hill, you harassed her. You used the fact that you used the fact that you were in a higher position to allegedly sexually harass Anita, but you exalted Ginny. Right? If you don't know who Anita Hill is, in 1991, attorney Anita Hill testified that the Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas had sexually harassed her when he was chair of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and she worked there as an advisor to him. Hill's testimony was unlike anything heard before at a Supreme Court nominee hearing. A committee of 14 white men, chaired by Senator Joe Biden, grilled her in a televised live hearing. The Senate ultimately confirmed Thomas' nomination in a 52-48 vote, and Hill went home to a new life, condemned by many and facing threats. Nevertheless, she has no regrets about stepping forward. Anita stepping forward set the tone. It definitely gave victims an opportunity to speak. Now, the fact that he was still, confirmed, we're not even on that. It's just, I wanted to juxtapose how he treated Anita, a black woman that worked as an advisor to him, and how Ginny, his wife's family, said that he treated her oh so well. Again, Ginny, Anita. Ginny, Anita. But let's get into it. Ginny is problematic. So we already found out that billionaires are consistently giving luxury vacations, private jet rides to a Supreme Court justice. Now, it's important to say that these people have denied that they have ever spoken to him about any Supreme Court decision, but we're straight shooters around here.
So a straight shooter. Pow, pow.
I don't believe it. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. These are just some of the things that ProPublica was able to unearth, which means in a 30-year span of time, who knows how much more there is. But let's get into Ginny, because Ginny is problematic. Let's start here. Judicial activists directed fees to Clarence Thomas's wife urged no mention of Ginny. Leo told GOP pollster Kellyanne Conway to build nonprofit, then use money to pay spouse of Supreme Court justice. It says conservative judicial activist Leonard Leo arranged for the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas to be paid tens of thousands of dollars for consultant work just over a decade ago, specifying that her name be left off billing paperwork, according to the documents reviewed by the Washington Post. In January 2012, Leo instructed the GOP pollster Kellyanne Conway to bill a nonprofit group he advises and use that money to pay Virginia. The same year, the nonprofit Judicial Education Project filed a brief to the Supreme Court in a landmark voting rights case. Are y'all getting this? Pay her, just don't put her name on any documentation. Leo, a key figure in a network of nonprofits that has worked to support the nominations of conservative judges, told Conway that he wanted her to give Ginny Thomas another $25K. He emphasized that the paperwork should have no mention of Ginny, of course. Conway's firm, the polling company, sent the Judicial Education Project a $25,000 bill that day. Per Leo's instructions, it listed the purpose as supplement for Constitution polling and opinion consulting. In all, according to the documents, the polling company paid Thomas's firm, Liberty, $80,000 between 2011 and 2012 and expected to pay another $20,000 before the end of 2012. The documents reviewed by the Post do not indicate the precise nature of any work Thomas did for the Judicial Education Project or the polling company. Y'all, let's continue on Jenny. Jenny, going back to her early life, Jenny says that she was a member of a cult. And she got out of a cult and started working on anti-cult workshops. But then we find out that Jenny was heavily involved in the January 6th. Not the January 6th, but yes, it's now just the January 6th. It says Jenny Thomas tells January 6th panel she still believes false election fraud claims. Virginia Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, told the January 6th panel during lengthy testimony Thursday that she still believes false claims that the 2020 election was stolen from former president. The information was typical of a lot of information we received from other people who were involved in this effort. She says, well, I believe something was wrong. She was one of those people who wanted to talk, and ultimately we eventually got her. Thompson also told reporters that Thomas had answered some questions. Thomas, also known as Jenny, sat with the panel behind closed doors for over 4 hours in a congressional office building where they have conducted many of the interviews. She had conversations with and was messaging John Eastman. John Eastman, a legal architect of Trump's last-ditch plan to subvert the 2020 election. So she don't like cults, but she had some alleged involvement in January 6th. So now we have people on the record indicating that they had been paying her during years that they had landmark Supreme Court court hearings, and they wanted her name not involved. Now we have billionaires sending private jets for a Supreme Court justice, the eternally constipated Clarence Thomas, who just seems to be just backed up, who exalts his wife and allegedly harasses the black women who work for him, or work with him, I should say. Now, we all know what he's going to say.
This ain't stealing. This ain't stealing.
Y'all do the math. Y'all do the math. And each one of these billionaires has said, we don't talk to him about anything involving the Supreme Court. So you basically are giving a Supreme Court justice a free leisure lifestyle, and you never talk about work. It says, perhaps even more significant, the pattern exposes consistent violations of judicial norms. Experts, including 7 current and former federal judges appointed by both parties, told ProPublica. Shout out to ProPublica for even getting this. In my career, I don't remember ever seeing this degree of largesse given to anybody. A former federal judge who served for years on the Judicial Committee that reviews judges' financial disclosure. I think it's unprecedented. I don't like him. Go ahead and put him on a Metamucil commercial. Don't like him. And I'm not a fan of Jenny either. And in my opinion, I totally believe Miss Anita Hill, who looks like this today. Looking good, Anita. Hey, Jenny. Anyway, I'm going to keep you guys posted if anything else goes on. Remember to like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'm going to see you guys next time. Have a good one.